back to a new episode of Voices of Hult. I'm Johanna, and I'm going to be your co-host for this episode, along with Bharathi,
Hi.
who is also a part of our Voices of Hult team here in Boston. And this episode is a partnership with Discovery Week with Hult. So we have the honor to have Professor Torres here. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
How
Hello.
are you? How are you today?
Very nice, very well. Yes. What about you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, pretty good.
So would you be able to introduce yourself a little bit and like what subjects do you teach here, or like what's your position at the school?
Yes. Guillermo Torres, professor of finance here in the Boston campus. For the last year, I'm focused on the Master of Finance. And I've been teaching financial planning and analysis decision with Excel, and also summer course, summer elective, that is the business analysis and business valuation.
Was that also here in Boston, or was that somewhere else?
That was in the New York campus.
Oh,
yes.
that's really cool, because
Yes.
that's an option for the master students
Yes.
to go there, right? That's
Yeah.
really
Very recommended. Yes. So you get out of the Boston campus or the campus you are, and then you visit a different campus and have a different experience.
cool. And the students, are they mainly from the Boston campus, or are they from San Francisco and Dubai too?
Different ones. So Boston campus, but also San Francisco, also London.
Wow, yeah,
And
true.
we even had 2 alumni, because Holt has this training program where once you graduate, they still invite you to pick at least one course, one elective
Oh, wow.
for the rest of your life. So we had 2 alumni, one living in New York, but the other one, Drini, is a student that was coming from Albania.
Wow.
So he came to New York to enjoy the summer and to enjoy business analysis and business valuation. So that
That's
was
really
awesome.
cool.
That was cool. Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's a
Yeah.
cool opportunity from Holt for everyone, all the alumni.
I
Yes.
agree. So you've been in here in Boston and New York, but then I heard you were somewhere else too, right?
That is correct. So another program of Holt is what it's called the City Seminars, where they invite the students to visit other future campuses or other cities that are not part of the existing campuses. So out of Dubai, London, San Francisco, and Boston, Holt also gives you the opportunity to spend at least a week, if you choose, in cities like Singapore or Seoul or Stockholm. In my case, I picked Madrid, and it was shortlisted, and we had students coming from around the world also, even the Dubai campus, San Francisco, Boston, London. And we enjoyed an amazing seminar of 5 days, visiting different financial institutions, AWS, and even consulting firms. And it was an amazing 5 days, yes.
That's really cool.
so-
And I'm sorry if you said it already, but what was that course called, the one in Madrid?
That was digitalization in financial services.
Wow.
So what we taught is different methodologies for project management focused in financial services, and we were studying the macroeconomics and microeconomics for Spain, but mainly focused on the financial services industry. So what we did is we visited main institutions in Spain, like BBVA. That is one of the top banks in not only in Spain but in the world. They have a presence in 50 different countries. So they showed us the culture that they have and the different initiatives, everything that they are doing in the data space, for example. And we even saw the treasury room. So one of our guest speakers, he normally works in the treasury room, so we could see him from outside. There's glass doors and everything. We could not film inside, but it was an amazing experience for everyone. And we went what it's called the city of BBVA. It's a city, no? It's hosting thousands of employees there. So that was day 1. Day 2, we went to another bank, ING, fully digital, almost no branches in Europe. And we learned about the migration to the cloud. That's when you migrate all your core banking systems from your own servers into the cloud. And then from there, we went into an insurance company, kind of a startup vibe. It's called Verti. And then we continued the seminar with AWS, Amazon Web Services, also focused in the migration to the cloud, different services. We talk about the public sector. That was another amazing experience. We ended on Friday in one of the top towers, one consulting firm offered us the possibility to visit the floor number 50. And then we wrap up the course with the team assessments and the presentations in front of a director of this consulting firm. So
that's really nice opportunities for those students.
Very nice, yes.
So with these city seminars, basically, it's more catered to the country. So in this case, Spain.
Yes, it was very focused on the financial services space in Spain, so mainly in Madrid. The good news is that all the companies we chose have a presence also in other countries. So now I have to share with you that the students, some of them, they had initial plans to work in their home cities, and now some of them are even planning to move to Madrid, because what they saw is such a global or international environment. Madrid has evolved to this new hub, space for startups, for innovation, but also with all these banks investing in other countries. BBVA, for example, has an amazing presence in Mexico and Turkey, for example. Santander Bank has presence globally, also South America, Mexico, here in Boston, the UK. So everyone was shocked that in the offices in Madrid, everyone was speaking English. So we could enjoy a very international and global week. And I can tell you, yes, initially was focused on the Spanish market, but I think the lessons we learned from that week can be applied to any country or any continent. So, yes.
It's just amazing, these really cool opportunities that we get through Hult and like this really global world. But going back to here and like you being a professor here, is that what you do full time? Is that like your full dedication, or is this a side gig?
No, this is, I'm an adjunct professor. So my main job is I work for a consulting firm. It's called Axis Corporate. And we're focused mainly in financial services, so projects in the banking industry. So that's my main job. I have been in the consulting industry since I finished college. That was in 2003. I'm an engineer in telecommunications. So I studied in Madrid, in Universidad Politécnica de Madrid, Polytechnic University of Madrid. I had the opportunity to study abroad in Stockholm, in KTH, electrical engineering, thanks to my university. And then once I finished, I also studied the Bachelor in Business Administration. So that's my background. But since day one, I focused in two different companies. One was Accenture. That's where I started in 2003, September 2003. And then I spent a beautiful 6 years there, learning a lot, enjoying different clients, traveling, amazing team members. And then from there, I jumped into Axis Corporate, who gave me the opportunity to come to the US for a small project, 3 months. 3 months, then jump into 6 months, then 2 years. And it has been, many years now. So... Yes, so this is...
you like it here then, if you stay?
I love it, yeah. Boston, it's an amazing city. Here where we are, Cambridge, it's an amazing location. I guess that you're aware that Massachusetts has around 35, 36 colleges. Yeah. It gives you a huge opportunity for education. I think this is the place to be. I know that there are many other hubs in the US. Of course, London, New York, London in Europe, Paris, but you have the campuses in Hult are very well located. Here in Cambridge, but you have the San Francisco campus, and you can enjoy even the rotation in New York. I think this business school gives you an amazing experience.
Yeah, a city,
full
college
experience.
town, right?
Yes.
So based on your like diverse experience in the finance industry, what would you say are the emerging trends that people should know about in the industry?
Like what's it right now?
Yeah.
Yes. So, of course, finance, like the rest of the industries, are changing a lot. We hear, of course, the impact of artificial intelligence coming in. In most of the classes that I teach, I always mention the importance of the data management and your data skills. It doesn't matter the industry you're going to be working on, but data is key, no? So what you do when you collect the data from your customers or from your peers, or so that's the importance. So that's another program that it's offered here in the university, and I think it's critical, and that's why many students even they manage to study the Master of Finance, but at the same time in the following year they do the dual degree with the Master in Business Analytics. So if you ask me where even finance is going, it's the better management of the data, a better use of the data. And that is the focus, how you learn constantly new things and how you apply them. So AI is coming. We shouldn't be scared that it could be replacing us, but of course we need to continue learning. And improve and enhance our skills in order to be ready for the market.
Speaking specifically about that, what should we do, like, to not be replaced by AI or not be scared about it? Like, what's the core skills that we should have?
Yes, my best advice always in class is do not stop learning. It doesn't matter if you have a stable job. You cannot just one day decide to stop learning new topics, new skills. So that's the first piece of advice that I would do. In order for you not to be replaced by AI or by someone else, no, that can take your job, is just to be ready out there. Be aware of the macroeconomics factors that are surrounding you, where you are, what is the unemployment rate, what is the inflation rate. So that could be the macro piece. But at the same time, constantly be learning about whatever you have a passion for. That it could be maybe Python, or I would love to learn about the data visualization in Tableau and Power BI and apply it to my projects in the future. It doesn't matter the industry you work for, but be ready of, and flexible to constantly be learning and getting new skills. No, the importance of what it's called the soft skills. So it's not just about data and data management, but also most of the companies now, what they're looking for is someone that has good communication skills. So you guys are now getting ready for that. You are hosting a podcast. Yeah. So I think you can really show this in an interview where when a company here in the US, they will be interviewing you, you can just share this video and say, look, my communication skills, when someone else was out there riding a bike in summer, I was, recording a podcast here with professors in a building now, and I can show you that I have, some skills to be in front of a camera and be talking and be communicating. And that is key because, you can learn, you can work hard, but if you don't know how to communicate well, then for everyone, for clients, for peers, for your managers, it's like that's an issue. So that's another thing that you need to constantly be learning. World Economic Forum, every year they post, I always teach this in the classes, they post the most critical 10 skills that each candidate should have out in the market, independently of what is coming next, of AI or the metaverse, or you choose, blockchain, whatever is the new trend. Analytical skills is key, but also your communications skills. And the other advice that I always give is, think that you could be laid off any day. What could be your next step? Your next step is normally jump into LinkedIn, update your profile, and then start touching base with all your contacts. And then my suggestion to you would be, why don't you take care of those connections even before being laid off? Mm-hmm. So you're ready. Whenever it happens, that it can happen to anyone, you are ready out there, so you can shorten the period of time that you will be unemployed. So take care of yourself. That's another good advice, physically and mentally. And then take care of anyone else that is surrounding you. It could be your colleagues in class, they could be part of your family, for the rest of your life. Your friends, your peers at work, your family, anyone. Take care of them. And they will take care of you in the future.
Yeah, that was a shocking fact for me, actually, when our career advisors presented that like 90% of the jobs out there aren't even like posted or aren't even like on the market, you have to, like, you get them through your contacts and your network, and that was something that I never realized before they told us.
Yes, I always heard that it was 80. Now you updated it to 90. That it even shocks me even more. I can tell you my own numbers. Once I post a new job position, maybe in 24 hours, I get like around 100 resumes. And the reality is that when you go through those candidates, you read diagonally because you have to go through 100. But the first ones that I call are the ones that are referred by a peer, by a friend, by a family member, by someone that is already referring that person. So you know already that they went through a previous filter. So that's what it is. If you don't have someone that talks well about you, you are missing something, you know. The market unemployment rates here in Massachusetts are below 5%, but the reality and the question is like, okay, but who am I competing with? And you're competing, like, everyone is very well prepared today. Everyone is having today a post-grade. Not everyone, but out the market, you know, big companies, big tech companies are laying off constantly. So you're going to be out there fighting and competing with amazing candidates. So the difference that you bring is who you know. And we're talking about quality connections, not like, you know, just having a connection in an event and forgetting about it. And then 2 years later, I'm going to ask you for a favor. Don't do that. Just, you know, you seed and then you water the plant and then you continue building your quality relationships with whoever it is, family, friends, people you know in an event, with you too. That I hope that you continue. You send me a LinkedIn invite and you continue touching base, and maybe in years, you know, after knowing each other, we can meet again for work. And who would you choose for maybe a job? What is your background? What are you studying, both of you?
I'm studying marketing.
Marketing.
Yeah, I'm planning to minor in graphic design.
Okay, so marketing team needs, you know, a new analyst. And when are you finishing?
Hopefully 2025.
2025. So 3 months before, you touch base with me, you share again the link. You remember this fantastic interview. Hopefully it will come out well, but hopefully. So do you remember this one? So yes, of course I know you. Who am I going to be referring to? Someone that I don't know, or you that I had this contact and we have been in touch in the next months, you know? So that's the main difference.
Really, really cool. And going back to like how we can build our skills up until that point too. You talked about macroeconomics and how like we should be aware of what's happening around us. Do you have any tips or tricks like how can I keep myself as informed as possible?
Yes. Another suggestion that I always make in class is being informed. And that means that you should be reading, I know this sounds like so basic, but you should be reading the news every day. And then the financial news, someone advised me 25 years ago to read them at least 3 times per week. Now, if you're a Master of Finance student, or you are your bachelor, the one that you are studying, it's finance, I would say read the financial news every day. So you need to understand what is surrounding you again. It can be, you know, when is the Fed coming with the new interest rates? Or it could be, what is the European Central Bank suggesting that it's going to be the inflation in Europe? So basic macroeconomic factors that you need to understand for you first, but also to take advantage of that information. Information is key, you know. So you have to be able as a student and a future professional to be ready to have a conversation with anyone about anything. In today's world, you know, so you are from Sweden, so you should know, you know, what is the unemployment rate and the macro factor indicators in Sweden, but also in the US. That's where you want to start working here. But if you are going to meet with someone maybe, you know, in the Swedish Cultural Center here in Massachusetts, that's where I would start if I would be you, to make connections. Then it's interesting that you talk about the Swedish economic situation and political situation. So we always teach in class the PESTEL framework that I'm pretty sure that most of the listeners know. So where you are aware of political factors, economical factors, social factors, environmental factors, legal factors, everything that it could be affecting you as a professional or even as a startup owner, that we also help here in Hult to incubate and to motivate you to create your own company, you know.
Yeah, true. That makes so much more sense, because I think one of the main important things right now is staying relevant, right? Because AI is so much faster than you, and you need to do everything you can to keep up and move forward. I think that's what Hult tries to do with us too. It's the first thing we're told when we come here is, look at the people around you. They can be your network. They can be of help to you someday, right? Your classmates, your professors, whoever it is. So it's good to make connections wherever possible, right? And talking about Hult, how do you think Hult's approach to business helps students succeed in life?
So, yes, it does. It does. So Hult, I always recommend my students to please subscribe for free, because Hult offers you this amount of open and free resources. And so you have a subscription to the Financial Times, you have a subscription to The Economist, you have a subscription to the Wall Street Journal. Just reading, I'm not going to ask you to read those 3 every day. You know, The Economist, you can do it weekly on a Sunday morning. The Wall Street Journal, you can do it daily. And they have like so many other like good stories about, even like they have like these sections that talk about how you can become like a C-level, for example. So they prepare you how you have to behave and interact with people, and, you know, behave in the office, or what you have to do proactively or reactively. But I mean, so much information that it's for free offered by Hult in this case. No, this amount of open resources. My students, when we ask them to complete the individual assessments and the team assessments, Hult offers you different tools where you can also access for free financial information, all your financial statements for different companies, the balance statement, the income statement, the cash flow statement, everything that it's out there. So Hult is offering you that. It will offer you also access to the Hult cases. You will have business challenges here in this building or in any other campus. So yes, focus on that. I have also been part this year of an event that it was organized by one of the clubs. It's a new club that is the partnership between Alpha and Hult. Alpha is the Latino Professionals Association, that they have different franchises or chapters in the US. One of them is Boston. How beautiful it is that with all the Latino population that is studying in Hult, they finally created this partnership with they have Hult and Alpha Boston Association, and they have been organizing amazing panels, amazing events. I was part of one of them, but you can see at least, I'm not going to lie to you, 35, 50 students coming here to an event. So that's the approach that Hult is bringing to the class. It's offering you as a student first-hand contact with professors that are not, only in class, but also having a lot of relationships out there with startups, with their own jobs.
All over the world, too.
Yes.
Like, that's the beauty of it. And speaking of opportunities, too, like, I know we've touched upon, like, what the new trends within finance are, but what are the specific new opportunities? What can our classmates that wants to go into finance, what can they look forward to? What can they, like, be excited about within finance and grab?
Yes, it's a great question. What happens is that it's so broad because finance, it has so many different aspects. You could maybe love to even to be a tax analyst. Imagine,
True.
So I'm not gonna give you the same advice if you want to be into taxes than become an accountant, for example. Or if you want to be in FP&A, again, financial planning and analysis decision. We teach in class, for example, how you have to manage and enhance your skills in Excel. So you can forecast, you can complete a rolling forecast for one of your clients or your own company if you're in the finance department. And you can do that using Excel. But if you think that mastering Excel, that's going to be enough, you are wrong. Because the reality is that most of the companies are already offering other software that is out there, constantly changing, that is replacing Excel, and you're gonna be doing your rolling forecast in more automated tools. So that's another trend. It's like that's the reason why you have to learn a lot, you have to meet a lot of people, and you have to know what is out there in the market. For example, in software focused on finance. Mm-hmm. So that's the importance of where it's going. Managing your data, of course, knowing a programming code, a programming language, that could be critical for you. So you have that finance or even in marketing. Imagine you with data skills capable to show to the Department of Marketing your numbers and KPIs using Tableau or Power BI. So you are going to make a difference with the rest of the marketing candidates, students, or employees in your department. You are not only working hard on your campaigns and preparing the budget and doing everything as possible, you are also going beyond and you are adding value to the teams, bringing data visualization. So it's again another piece of the part that we were saying, like how to communicate, proficiently. And the use of these tools, it's something that everyone should learn and be focused on. Yes.
Yeah, and I think it's super relevant to be able to not only show what your plans are, but what the outcomes of your plans are going to be. And that's what I think finance helps you with, even with like other industries like marketing or management or even starting your own business. That's where it's helpful, is to show how you can structure what you're doing and what the outcomes would be.
Mm-hmm. I use it in my own personal life too, like budgeting.
Yeah.
Budgeting, exactly. So just managing your costs, the new course of Master of Finance that this year will be coming on wintertime, November and December, cost management. Mm-hmm. So you can apply that to the company, but you can start with your own life. Mm-hmm. So that's critical. How to invest your money, or how to understand what is a risk-free rate. Okay, so I know that if I invest in this CD, I'm gonna have a 4.5 or a 5% today. Okay, that is your risk-free rate. What if you want to invest in another product, for example, knowing that the market return is going to be an 8%. So that's the type of information that you need to evolve. And whatever you learn in class, maybe you can apply it for your personal life. Mm-hmm. So that is correct for yourself, or maybe for the company that you create. So you need to control, for example, your financial statements, not for the company you work for, but even if you are a startup, you need to have those numbers well presented. Why? Because I'm going to start looking for investors for my startup company. The first thing that they're going to ask you is like, which are your revenues? Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't have them here. The numbers is critical. So you really need to present like accurate financial statements. Mm-hmm. So again, whatever we teach in class, you can apply it in different industries and even for the startups that you create. Yes.
Very true, very true. And I feel like the consensus of our whole conversation here today has been like continuous learning, right? Like learn from like macroeconomics, like everything that's going on around you, but also learn from yourself what you like, do more of what you like. But is there anything like in addition to that, or other specific thing that you would recommend to like future leaders within finance, or just like us students, even though if I didn't want to go into finance, just in general, is there something that you would want to like pinpoint this?
So we talk about learning constantly. We talk about managing your network, making it grow, quality network, I would say, taking care of everyone that you know, taking care of yourself physically and mentally, the importance of, if you like it or not, maybe 5 minutes per day meditating, it's a great way to start your day.
Agreed.
Yes. So you're taking care of yourself physically and mentally, and then, you take care of everyone else. I think that is critical. I also recommend all the students to attend at least one event per week. No matter where you are, if you're in London, Dubai, San Francisco, or Boston, there are web pages that are for free offering you to attend events. So a few days ago, I was in an event organized by Google that is 200 yards from here. So on the top of the building of Google, they were introducing the applications of generative AI. Did I know someone there? Yes, a few people, but you don't even need to do that. And for free, you have access to free knowledge, free contacts in an amazing space. So, so at the end, it's like how proactive you are. you can stay home or just ride a bike, or that's good. But if you want to focus professionally and continue growing, why don't you start attending events and career fairs? And there is a lot of free resources out there. We just need to look for them. Yes.
Very true, very true. Thank you so much for those
You're welcome.
advices.
Thank you.
I love them all. And as a part, like before we round up, a part of Voices of Hult and our podcast is that we always ask a question from a previous guest.
Okay.
And then you're going to get the chance to ask a question for a future guest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bharathi, do you want to read it?
Yeah, just to have that, excitement going.
Yes.
So the question we have for you is, if you can pick a business leader or person to hang out with, who would it be? And just a side note, it cannot be anyone you already know, like from your network that you work with.
Okay. Someone I would love to spend more time, it would be my grandmother. This is a personal note. Instead of choosing a business leader, I would choose my grandma. She passed away years ago, of course, but that's time that maybe, I enjoyed a lot of time. I learned a lot from her, and I would love to continue, sharing everything that is happening in my life today with her. And that could be the person I would be choosing. Yes.
Yeah. And what is a question you have for a future guest?
A question for a future guest. We were discussing about trending and finance, or it could be maybe something like, do you fear that AI is going to replace your job, and what could you do to avoid that? That is something that, it's a public opinion today. Everyone is worried about that. I think the answer is yes, there will be jobs that they will be replaced, of course. I think I'm answering the question that I'm asking the next
but you
speaker.
should go ahead.
Yeah,
I think it's good.
Okay, yeah.
But again, it's like, yes, AI will be replacing many jobs, of course. You can only just now pay attention to what is happening with contact centers. And all the customer experience, right? How those companies that are applying AI are enhancing that customer experience. And yes, before maybe it was just one person or 50 people like attending the phone, and now that is changing. So some jobs will be replaced, some others will appear, right? So we need now probably, again, more skills of data management and Python, you name it, LLM, whatever it is. We will need engineers, but we will also need the softer skills that we were mentioning before, your communications skills. If you do not stop learning, I think you have, of course, less chances to be replaced by AI, and you can just flip it and use AI to improve your job, your career, your skills. So that's
very true.
Yes.
Very, very true.
Don't tell my answer to the next guest speaker, or then it will be useless.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting to hear their perspective on it too. But we certainly hope that you won't be replaced by AI anytime soon, and that you will continue teaching here. So we get to experience that during our masters, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. But thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Conversation.
Yes.
So thank you both.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for watching and listening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.